Commissioner Clementi has also requested an excuse. Commissioner Anderson has requested an excuse. Vice Chair Baydoun,
Here.
Chair Kinlock.
Present.
We have a quorum present.
Next item.
Next item is item B, Chair's remarks.
So we have an agenda in front of us. We have to act on a number of items today that will, before we can move those items to the committee of whole, where the commission will consider those items and then move those forward for adoption. So we're still waiting on the technical amendments to be put together. We appreciate management and budget receiving them at late notice, but they have been working in earnest since yesterday, since the commission met with the CEO to reconcile conversations and some discussions, and the management budget has been working to make those changes, include those within the budget. So what we're going to do now is follow the agenda, but we may recess until we have those budget, those technical amendments, so we can act on them today. And that concludes my remarks. The next item.
Item C, approval of the minutes from the September 18, 2024 meeting.
So
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We are going to move past unfinished business and go to new business. Item 1, recommending commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-217, certifying revenue in the delinquent tax pledge fund.
Who's here to speak to this? Is there anyone in present or by Zoom? Anyone present or by Zoom?
By Zoom, Chief Deputy Treasurer Jean-Pierre Adams.
Thank you. You may proceed.
This item, we're requesting a budget adjustment, moving funds from the delinquent tax revolving fund reserve to cover the cost of maintenance of properties transferred from the treasurer to the Wayne County Land Bank.
Commissioners, do you have any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Adams. Madam Clerk, next item, we'll be acting on these action items as one under one motion. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 2, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-242, certifying revenue in the HHS Nutrition Fund.
Is there anyone here to speak to this?
Joan Savrakis, Division Director, Senior Services. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We received additional funding in the amount of $323,304 from the Senior Alliance Area Agency on Aging, who is our funding source. That also reflects in budget item number 3 as well.
Okay.
There's 2 amendments.
Yes, so let me ask the clerk to read item number 3 into the record, please.
Item number 3, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-191, certifying revenue in the HHS Nutrition Fund.
Okay. Okay, so you did refer to item 3, and it's the premises for Riot's Force is the same.
Yes, additional revenue received. We received 2 amendments from the Senior Alliance after the original grant award for fiscal year 2024.
Okay, are there any questions? Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next item.
Moving to item number 4, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-210, decertifying revenue in the County Health Fund.
Is there anyone here present or, yes, thank you.
Kamal Kaparu, Finance Director for the Department of Health, Human and Veteran Services, Management and Budget.
Okay, I'm going to ask Madam Clerk if you will read the next item into the record as well.
Item number 5, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-206, reallocating expenditures in the County Health Fund.
And item 6.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-232, reallocating expenditures in the County Health Fund.
Okay.
Yes, number 4, this is just a decertification. This one is related to the Well Wayne project. This This amount here was in the old business unit, but remember when we had to move the funds from Fund 221 to the new fund, Fund 499?
Mhm.
So it's just decertifying it out of Fund 221. And if, actually on the addendum, item number 12 is putting the money in the new fund.
Mhm. Maybe on the addendum. Okay, so we'll continue to follow. Yeah, okay.
Okay. And number 5 is just, we got an increase in the monkeypox vaccine grant. That's for the CPBC health grant. And number 6 is just a reallocation.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions on either of these three items? Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 7, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-212, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Who's here to speak to this? We're on 7. Yeah. Oh. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sue Humbo, Deputy Corporation Counsel. This is a reallocation of funds into the, for settlement, settlement fund there was a big settlement that we had this year that we did not anticipate when the budget was created last year, so we had to move funds to cover that settlement.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any additional questions regarding this? Okay, Commissioner Meraki.
This is the one that came to us recently?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Any additional questions? Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
We are now moving to the addendum for item number 8, the budget language instructions for fiscal year 2024-2025.
We will skip this for now.
We'll move on to item 9, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-197, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Is there anyone here to speak to this? Anyone here to speak to this?
And through the chair, let the record reflect that Commissioner Clementi is present.
So noted. Okay, we will, I'm gonna ask staff, can you make any comments as it relates to this, this item? And commissioners, do you have any questions? Okay, management and budget, are you able to speak to number 9?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Michael Bridges from Management and Budget. I'm the Division Director of Financial Reporting.
Thank you. You can continue.
Okay, sure. Yes. When we started the fiscal year, fortunately, there were some invoices in arrears for our Canon copiers that we needed to pay Canon for. So this request would allow us to fulfill that obligation.
Okay, so it is just the matter of fact of just making sure there's sufficient funding to address the retroactive Canon payments. Why was it retroactive again?
Well, unfortunately, we were in transition with working out, if you will, the agreement, the new enterprise agreement that we have now with Canon, in terms of the existing machines versus the new copiers. And in that process, there were a number of bills that, for whatever reason, fell through the cracks, and we needed to pay them.
Okay, that's a sufficient excuse. At least it'll work for now. Okay, thank you. Okay, any additional questions? Any additional questions? Okay, next item, please.
We're moving to item 10, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-250, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Any questions regarding this item? Any questions? Next item, please.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-214, certifying revenue in the Third Circuit Court capital funds and the 2018 jail construction fund.
Who's here to speak to item number 11?
Yes, this is Michael Bridges, once again, the Division Director of Financial Reporting and Management and Budget. This amendment allows us to be able to transfer and really make whole the capital construction fund for the purpose of Third Circuit Court for the employee parking lot that needed to be procured.
Okay, so that's nothing new.
No, it's
basically.
nothing. It's
Okay.
nothing. Yes.
Okay, so just wanted to be clear on that. Okay, any questions? Any additional questions? Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item.
Item 12, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-236, certifying revenue in the special capital projects fund.
Okay, let's see, okay, who's here to speak to this? Okay, yep, okay, Kamal.
Kamal Kaparu, Finance Director for the Department of Health, Human and Veteran Services. Now, this is the one where the money is going into the new business unit we set up for the Well Wayne project.
You made reference to it earlier.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see, are there any other items on here from you, your department? I don't see. No. Okay, okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 13, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-303, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Are there any questions associated with this item? Any questions? Next item.
Item 14, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-218, reallocating expenditures in the HHS nutrition fund.
Any questions? Any questions on this item? Next item.
Item 15, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-226, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Are there any questions? Are any questions? Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 16, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2024-35-244, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Are any questions? Are any questions? At this time, a motion is in order.
Mr. Chair, I will make a motion to move items 1 through 7 on the agenda and 9 through 16 on the addenda, the full board for consideration.
Is there support? It's been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, these items stands approved. Madam Clerk. We're going to go to, we can go to budget language. Yep.
We will now return to item 8, budget language instructions for fiscal year 2024-2025.
At this time, I would like to recognize, I would like to ask management and budget to come forward to the table, and then I will refer, this time recognize Mr. Terrence Adams, who is the budget director for the Wayne County Commission, and Ms. Mary Carr, who is the deputy director for the budget division department for the commission. We have division. Okay, division of the commission. Where are you? No, it's like there. Oh, no, we're a whole branch of government. Okay. Good afternoon. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Greg McIntyre, Deputy Budget Director.
Okay, and at this time, I turn this over to Mr. Adams.
Through the chair, thank you.
So we're gonna, annually, we put budget instruction reports in the appropriation ordinance for items that the commission would like to see reports on, of the various operations of the administration and other elected officials. We submitted the document Monday or Tuesday, just for review, so everyone can be a little bit more familiar with it. The changes that were made, some of them are this date, fiscal year changes, and some are other recommendations that we as staff are recommending, either based on completion of the report, or maybe the report is just no longer maybe needed. But if a commissioner objects to any of that, then we definitely, if they want to see the report still, we will definitely keep it in. We also provided this to management and budget, just for their input from the administration. Because obviously the administration has, complies with these reports to make sure that they had any suggestions or anything of that nature, to try to work as a team with this. So I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Director, Mrs. Carr, to go do a summary of the budget language report that everyone should have a copy of.
Good afternoon, through the chair, Mary Carr, Deputy Director, Office of Fiscal Agency. Okay, on page 1, we're going to recommend that we retain the language. Page 2, we have changes where it's the dates and the fiscal years. Page 3, same dates with fiscal year changes and calendar changes. 4, same as before. 5, recommend retain language. Page 6, we have retention of language, and for number 17, we moved that one from community corrections section over to under the county executive, since they've been submitting the reports for these items. So that's number 17 on page 6. And then number 18 on page 7, we're recommending deletion of the language, since these are for past reports for the Victims Crime Task Force. Page 8, again, oops, sorry. Okay. Page 8, fiscal year changes, date changes for the calendar year, as well as page 9, same, recommend retention of the language. Page 10, we are just changing the fiscal years and the calendar year dates. Page 11, changing of the fiscal year and the calendar date. And on number 32, where it's crossed out, we move that over to the economic development section, as they are the ones who submit the reports for that versus having M&B submit the reports. Page 12, fiscal year changes, changing the name to Connect 43 for ERP. Page 13 is number 41. We are recommending deletion of the language. This was part of the COVID reports, which there's no more COVID reports and COVID, supposedly. Also fiscal year changes, calendar year change. Page 14, number 46, we're recommending deletion. Again, that is related to COVID-19 pandemic reports. And number 48, M&B asked that we would change the date from March 1st to May 1st to coincide with their reports. Page 15, item number 4950, again, deletion of the language. Those are COVID-19 reports, as well as just changing the calendar year and the fiscal years. Page 16, same, changing of the calendar year, fiscal year information. 17, change of calendar and fiscal year information. Number 8, page 18, sorry, change of calendar fiscal year. And number 2 is the sheriff's office state they no longer have payphone earnings, so they ask that that budget language be removed. Number 3, just adding the word and municipality location to the report. Number 4, we recommend deletion of that, since the dock for the Marine Patrol Division has been funded and built. Page 19, fiscal year change numbers and calendar numbers, date changes. 20, fiscal year change and calendar year change. 21, I'm going to allow Felicia to weigh in on that one.
through the chair to this,
Yes.
okay, to
Yes.
this honorable body, through the chair. So report on page 21 is the language that was put into the budget instructions related to the sheriff's satellite office. And our staff received information that the sheriff no longer has a satellite office, but at the budget hearing, it was indicated that they weren't expanding, but the impression was that they actually were still operating because they talked about how when officers go, it's good for them
Right.
to be there when they're getting the maintenance and they can help out the citizens. So just seeking clarification on what this is. So the commission did receive a lease for the satellite office. It's a 3-year lease. No one's asked for it to be returned. So we're just seeking clarification on exactly what is happening with regards to the satellite office. Is it still in existence? Is it operating? The lease still needed? It's not clear because it just seems that the information we have right now is not consistent.
So, so from what I understand, the couple of times that they've come before this commission, whatnot, that there is a satellite office in Dearborn. Is there still a sheriff's satellite office in Dearborn?
My understanding, it's not there anymore.
Okay, so where is, so the sheriff's office is here, and so we can get the best response from the department.
Good afternoon, Benita Terry, Director of Administration, Sheriff's Office. So we do not actually have a satellite office at, I'm going to speak at Metro Tech.
So
Okay.
what does actually mean?
We have a location where when the vehicles are being serviced, there's a workstation there and our officers will prepare, do their work as needed. But it's not an operation that we run out of Metro Tech. Our other location is in regard to the training unit that is at Wayne County Community College. We report on that unit there for our training unit. I do provide reports on that. And I would consider the other location is our road patrol, which reports are provided on that location.
Okay, counsel.
So the training location, we have a contract for that, correct?
The training location at Wayne County Community College is not, there's a contract. I'm not sure exactly, still allow me to research that piece. I don't believe there's a contract in place. We operate outside of, our training unit does operate outside of Wayne County Community College.
So is there an understanding, written memorandum, some sort of document that stipulates the, I guess, relationship?
Can I get back to you on that piece as I'm still learning the sheriff's office over my
Oh,
1 year?
no problem.
I can get that
I would accept
information and
that.
confirm, but we've been operating our trainer, Jealous Training Academy is there. We have an actual training unit that is hosted at Wayne County Community College at Taylor.
So what I'm saying is that when getting that information,
Mhm.
that if you can get it before we adjourn, because we're going to actually be recessing, if you can get that information, is that?
So I'm going to request that this particular budget instruction be retained. We may tweak it. A part of the concern was that when the sheriff started the office in Dearborn, they did so without an agreement and without acknowledge of this body, which is not permissible.
Oh.
And so there was some back and forth, and we finally did receive a lease, which we have not yet approved. So I was trying to get clarification on the status of the location to see if the lease was still needed, because we have not heard from the department with regards to withdrawing it. So can you find out? I assume if they're not operating, it would have to be withdrawn. And I think that may be an offline conversation between us and Corp Counsel regarding what is actually happening there, because the issue was the liability piece was the primary concern if you have operations at a location that's not the county. So just maybe some additional conversations and clarification, I think would be beneficial, in addition to retaining some sort of language so that we'll make sure we get regular reports to know exactly what is happening.
Okay, so this instruction here will be modified to conform to what council just recommended. And definitely, if you can get a response as relates to the status that we had just talked about before this committee adjourns for the day, that would be good. Yeah. Okay. So does that, okay, thank you, satisfying. Okay, so next item. Sir, I mean, not clerk, I'm saying, go ahead, back with your.
Okay. On to page 22, we're going to change the fiscal year dates and the calendar date. Page 23, change of fiscal years and the calendar date, and number 7 and number 8, we were going to delete the language, but after speaking with Commission Council, we are going to retain the language. So those will go back, stay on.
Yes.
So just for purposes of items 7 and 8 on page 23, unlike, unlike most of the budget language, these are not budget instructions where they're seeking reports. These are actually making specific requests of the department with regards to the funding. So one of these is to ensure that while the Wayne County Conservation District may be funded in the budget, that the contract is actually done. So that is what, and then the other is with regards to the Master Gardeners Program. So these are slightly different from your typical instructions, but we thought it was important to keep those in there just because they're in the budget. We want to ensure that the contracts are actually completed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
It's always understood that once this instruction is carried out, this specific type of instruction, the notification will be given to commission or the appropriate committee that the contract has been, or we would just go through the normal process.
Or we can
no-
add that in here to ask them to notify the commission when, like for number 8, when the contract is actually drafted, because this dollar amount.
$50,000, I just saw it.
It won't come to the
I just saw
commission.
that as I was babbling, I realized that it was below the
We can
50,000.
still seek, again, notice so that.
Could you
they'll
add
know.
that? Thank you.
So just, we did receive the conservation contract. I think it was approved at HHS Tuesday. For 150,000 covering 23, 24, 24, 25, and 25, 26, 50,000 per
So
year.
those were multiple years, but if it came within the fiscal year, then it would fall up under the, so yeah, keep it in there. Yeah.
Right, but so I think they've been submitting the contracts even though they're under 50,000 because I think it comes through as an IGA or an MOU. I'd have to look.
Okay, but still a notification since we're keeping
Yeah,
this in there.
I'll add that language in there.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, through the chair, there is a language that we haven't received in a while that the purchasing director or procurement director is supposed to submit to the
Under.
commission all contracts that were let underneath the authority of the CEO. We haven't received it in a while. There's been a lot of transitions with that, but I believe we will probably start back getting a lot of those. We've been getting a lot
will.
under the direction of Mr. Wallace. So we should be able to look forward to that in the new fiscal year.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to page 24, we are recommending new language, number 11, for the Just Air Contract Initiative, to have a report on the activities, status report on those activities to be submitted to us 4 times a year. Also, number 12 is for a status report on the new initiative for the RIP Medical Debt Initiative, which the commission approved both those contracts.
Okay, one second. Go ahead.
No, it's still RIP medical debt. Did it change, Carl?
I think it did change.
I'm sorry? When did we change it? Didn't we just?
For our purposes, the contract that was approved is
That's-
RIP, so they have not submitted anything to us to the contrary.
Kamal Kepru, Finance Director for the Department of Health, Human and Veteran Services. I'll pass that message on.
Okay, so it's RIP until they submit appropriate change documents or whatever forms.
Sorry, I remember during our budget, the director did call it a different, so I thought we'd catch it before. but I guess we need a whole, I think it's the same operation, just a different name. Is that what happened? Okay.
Right, basically, right, yeah, yeah.
Approve the contracts? Yeah. So,
Yes. Counselor.
Through the chair to this body. So with regards to page 24 in the reports, would the body like a report regarding the Narcan contract?
Yes,
Yes.
In the vending machines?
Yeah.
So that'll be added.
Okay, page 25, change of fiscal year and the calendar year date. Page 26, retention of language with the changes. Number 8, we moved that from M&B over to Department of Public Services, as they are the ones who submit the reports for the vehicles that are reports on the vehicles that are being taken home and used outside of Wayne County. 27, recommending retention of language as well as the changes to the fiscal year and the calendar date. 28, retention of the language for the calendar year and fiscal year. On to page 29, under Community Economic Development. Changes to the fiscal year and the calendar year. Page 30, changes to the fiscal year, calendar year. Item number 8 and 9, we're recommending deletion of those languages as the Wayne County Economic Development Corporation was dissolved in 2020 under Resolution 20-02 through, I think, the CEO's office or the Economic Development's office. Page 31. Pardon me? I don't think so. We can have policy look. Page 31, changes, recommend changes with the with the dates and the calendar year, fiscal year. Page 32, changes to the fiscal year, calendar year, and number 16, 17, which is also labeled 14, 15. These are duplicate items, so we are recommending deleting them since they're duplicates. Page 33, fiscal year changes, calendar year changes. Page 34, these 2 items were moved to the CEO section, with item 2 being recommended deletion, so there would not be anything under Community Corrections Fund's budget language instructions. Again, those are for the Joint Violent Crimes Joint Task Force. Page 35, number 1, recommending deletion of it. The report is no longer submitted to the state of Michigan per the department. Number 2, just fiscal year change, calendar year change. Page 36, recommend changes with the fiscal year, calendar year. Page 37, recommend changes with fiscal year, calendar year. Page 38, fiscal year changes and calendar year change. Page 39, fiscal year and just fiscal year changes. Page 40, fiscal year changes and possibly changing of the section numbers. Page 41, fiscal year change. 42, recommend retention of language. Page 43, recommend retention of language as well as changing the fiscal year for B. Page 44, these numbers will be updated once we receive them from M&B for the tax levy numbers and the fiscal year change dates. Page 45, all the way through 52 are recommend retention of languages. That concludes the budget language instructions.
Thank you, Mr. Adams.
Through the chair, just to piggyback on page 44, the tax levy. The reason why we have to wait for management budget is because of any technical amendment changes that's going to be approved with the submittal of the original budget. Those numbers have to be configured as well, those approved by the commission.
Thank you. Thank you for highlighting that. And so let me see one moment. Other instructions. Just to go back to the agenda, Madam Clerk, next item. Hold on. Oh, yes, you can make, regarding the, I thought, okay, go ahead. Do you have any questions as relates to the technical amendments?
Yes, several,
I mean, budget amendments,
thank you. Several of
budget
these,
language.
we haven't had a report in 3 years, 4 years. So what do we do with this?
So through the chair, so
Budget is,
some of the reports from M&B we have been receiving. We just haven't gone through them since we've
Okay.
been focusing on the budget and the budget language. So we will get those caught up.
So when we started doing this, all of a sudden the reports came in when they realized the reports weren't viable.
No, we had talked to Mr. Wallace before, so they knew they were getting these in. But
Okay.
they just like literally sent like probably 15, 20 of them
Yes.
in a big group, and we just kind of set them to the side.
Back to FY 20.
I haven't looked at them, so I'm gonna
Okay.
defer to
And
Jenna.
I know you weren't here during that
Yeah,
time.
yes, through the chair, we'll get them all updated.
Okay.
We have submitted most of the 24s, 23s and 24s, and we'll just make sure we go back and get the
Okay.
20s or 21s if they
Sounds
they have
good.
been submitted.
Right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
So also just a note, as a committee, I'm going quarterly just bumped our staff to ask for management budget to give us a status of all of these instructions. So the committee will have just a general oversight as it relates to whether or not these reports are being actually sent to the various responsible committees. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, Commissioner Baydun. Any other questions as it relates to the budget instructions? Okay, I'm not sure if that is an instruction that's necessary, but if so, just have a broader that the quarterly, the management and budget department will give a general general report on their compliance with the budget instructions throughout the budget. You know, just a quarterly update.
Through the chair, we'll make sure that we email management budget, Mr. Wallace, and any other administrative leadership on the status of the budget instructions through various departments.
Okay, that'll work. And then you'll give us an update on the status of that.
And if anything is not submitted, we will let the committee chair, the chairs of all the committees know what budget languages are behind.
That sounds like a plan as well. Yes. Okay, thank you. And with that, any additional questions as it relates to or comments on the budget instructions? Okay, next item. Okay, so I was going to just read that. Okay, at this time, we'll take a recess. Let me ask you, how much time do you believe we need so we can at least?
Probably in a half hour.
Okay, so.
Another 30 minutes.
Okay, so we'll recess
Further,
for
deputy.
30 minutes. Yeah. We'll recess for 30 minutes, and that would be, we'll say. Was there something you're trying to say, Mayor? Okay, okay, no problem. So we recess until 1:40. 1:45. 1:45. So we'll be back on 1:45. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm good.
No, see, that just hit you. Your hand was there, so I. to 2 o'clock. You ready, Wayne? Okay. The Wayne County Committee on Ways and Means will reconvene. We need a little bit more time to finish getting these technical amendments to us. And so we're going to recess until 2 o'clock. Yeah. Well, 2:10. 2:10. What'd you say? Okay, no, so we'll stay in session because we have a report from the sheriff's. Oh, say what's that? No, let's see. Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested an excuse. Commissioner Marecki. Commissioner Clementi. Commissioner Anderson has requested an excuse. Vice Chair Baydoun. Chair Kinlock.
Present.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, you could. Ms. Vanita from the Sheriff's Office.
Hi, Anita Terry, Sheriff's Office Director of Administration. So in regard to the question that I was asked for the Wayne County Community College Taylor District for our training unit, the training unit has been there since 2013. And there is an MOU that is on record that dates way back. So I will need to pull that MOU and provide it to commission, a copy to commission.
Council.
Council.
Okay. Okay, so you understand that there is a memorandum of understanding that exists, and so you'll get a copy of that to our commission council.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for me?
Any additional questions? Council, are you satisfied with the, yes, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It is very important for us to get these technical amendments. And so we will give the administration, as our staff and myself is putting pressure, and, trying to make sure, we want to make sure it's accurate and we get these items in. So we're going to wait till they able to get those items up to us. And so at this time, I'm going to recess. I'll call another recess until 2:30. We will reconvene at 2:30.
Wait.
The Wayne County Commission Committee on Ways and Means hearing will now reconvene. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Scott? Commissioner Marecki? Here. Commissioner Clementi? Here. Vice Chair Baydoun?
Here.
Chair Killock?
Present.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. To management and budget, we have received the budget, the technical amendments. And at this time, I'm going to refer this item back to you. As it relates to item 16, there's still some discussions that need to take place relevant to item 16. So I'm returning this back. The committee will adjourn until, or do we need adjourn until Monday? It's Monday. Do we have to send out another posting or what do, yep.
I'll handle it.
Okay, so we will reconvene on Monday at 9:30 for the purpose of receiving the technical amendments, 1 through 16. More discussion need to be made as it relates to item 16 that I was just discussing, but 9:30 Monday, we will reconvene. Thank you. And at this time, I will ask the clerk, next item on the agenda.
We are returning to the order of the agenda. Item D, unfinished business. Number 1, requesting commission approval of budget of recommended comprehensive executive budget appropriations ordinance for fiscal year 2024-2025 and the projected budget for fiscal year 2025-2026.
At this time, a motion to pass for the day, please. So moved. It's been moved and supported to pass for the day. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. Yes.
We also have to pass item 8, the budget language instructions for fiscal year 2024.
Is that also a pass for the day?
Yes.
Okay, another, a motion to pass for the day, for the budget instructions. Been moved and supported, to pass for the day. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, that item, that motion carries. Next item.
We are now on item F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none. Next item.
Item G, public comments.
Madam Clerk, would you please unmute the microphones and for all individuals who are on Zoom and joining the meeting by telephone, I would like to ask you to raise your hand or to give an indication that you would like to address this committee. Madam Clerk?
There are no participants on Zoom wishing to speak, and there were no emails received.
Thank you. Next item.
Item H, adjournment.
Motion is in order. Been moved, supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.